This segment, Dan, is more of an overview of the NFL draft. We did another one that talked about the local teams. Now I want to ask you, looking here at number one, I mean, Carolina has the pick. I don't think they're in love with having the number one pick this year. I see you have Cam Newton. What's the difference between a Cam Newton and a Blaine Gabbert from Missouri? A lot of people are talking about him, and I think he might be the safer pick than taking Cam Newton. Why'd you put Cam Newton number one for Carolina?
Cam Newton is like a bigger Randall Cunningham. Big, 6'6", 250, cannon arm, can run like a deer. He's had some maturity issues, and he made some comments on Facebook and Twitter like a lot of these guys do, and a lot of teams were kind of worried about that. And he wasn't a real proven commodity. Blaine Gabbert's more of a safer pick, but he played more in a shotgun offense all the time. How does that translate into the NFL, being under the center?
So Cam Newton's more of a high-risk, high-reward type of pick.
Yeah.
If you were GM for the Carolina Panthers, who would you take number one?
Patrick Peterson, cornerback from LSU.
No hesitation there.
He's the best talent in the draft.
So why doesn't he go number one?
No team has ever picked the cornerback in the number one pick. Whether they have the confidence to do that, we'll have to wait and see. They like to trade it because it's going to cost a lot of money. And do you spend that kind of money on a cornerback or a linebacker or something like that?
Who else do you like in this draft?
I like Von Miller, the linebacker from Texas A&M. He's a real good blitzing type linebacker. He can play linebacker all around. He can play the run, play the pass, cover somebody. He's a great talent.
Anybody else stand out in this draft?
The third guy that I like the best is Marcel Darius from Alabama, defensive tackle. He's a stud, good character. Nothing I can pick apart with this guy. Any of these three guys, I think, are sure things.
And where do you have Darius going on your board here?
I have him going number 2 to Denver.
Well, that's a
but
good
I've heard rumors about Denver trading that pick, Carolina trading the pick. A lot of teams want to trade down and get an easier player to sign.
And we should explain, when you put together the Plax picks, which you've been doing since 1982 for Lancaster newspapers, you do a lot of reading. What have you read? What's the pulse? Is this going to be a lot of trades this year? I don't know if you can trade players because of what's going on with the labor lockout here, but you can trade picks.
You can trade picks.
What have you heard?
I think there's going to be a lot of trades in that first round. Teams trading down like Dallas might trade back to get more picks, more players. Or they might even move up to get a superstar. Maybe Dallas trade up to get Patrick Peterson. They need another cornerback.
What is this draft heavy in? What position?
Offensive line and defensive line. Very little in the tight ends. Receivers are so-so. But cornerbacks, there's some good corners early on. Offensive linemen, you can get a good offensive lineman, I think, second and third round very, very easily. And defensive end is a lot of them, and pretty good defensive tackles, too.
Later on in the draft, who do you think the Eagles, or who are some picks do you think the Eagles we should be watching for late in the draft for depth? Is there some players that stand out position-wise that you could see them taking?
They have had a lot of guys in for visits. Now, that could be a smokescreen. There's a center from Slippery Rock, Fusco. Brandon Fusco. They've had him in. Would he be a 4th, 5th, 6th round pick? He could be. They need to bolster their center, right guard, and right tackle positions, and a cornerback, a strong safety. Those are the players that they need. If they trade Kevin Cobb, they're going to have to get another quarterback in back of Mike Kafka, in back of Michael Vick.
You mentioned a guy from Slippery Rock. Last year you had a guy from IUP. Give me a couple of your other sleepers out here for Plax picks.
Ben Ajalana, if I'm saying that correct, from Villanova. He could play guard tackle. He could be a late first round or definitely a second round pick. He's real good. A lot of guys like Will Rackley, a guard from Lehigh University up in Allentown, Bethlehem rather.
It's interesting. You've got some Penn State guys we talked about on another segment, but Pitt, Temple's got some guys this year. It tells you a lot about the program. You start seeing that they're going to get drafted. Al
Golden turned around the Temple program quite well. There's Muhammad Wilkerson is a defensive tackle, could play end. He's a real good prospect. He's almost definitely a first rounder. Jaquan Jarrett, a safety. He's going to be probably a 3rd or 4th round pick. So yeah, they've got some talent. Pitt, Jonathan Baldwin is a big receiver. Jabal Sheard could be a late first, early second round pick at defensive end.
Good, very
so
good.
There's some good players there.
Check out Dan's picks this Sunday in the Sunday News. And the draft takes place when? The following week.
Thursday, the 28th, Thursday night, the first round, the second round on Friday night, and then the rest of the draft on Saturday.
Wow, a lot of coverage going on. It starts this Sunday in the Sunday News. Check out Plaque's picks.
Thank you.